Now we are getting back to our project stylesheet.css. Now so far as we can see that the first div is tagline holder that has been created at a width of 1000 pixels. Now all we have to do, we have to make division of this parent div into 3 separate child divs. That means all you are going to create here, just change this color over here. Suppose this is the first div that actually been created. This is the child div number 1 at which the logo should appear. As I have told you in your previous tutorial that there should be a logo that will be placed into this particular box over here. It is residing at the extreme left condition, and if there is no such logo from the customer's end, then this place should be left empty. And then all you can see here that the tagline holder itself, this is actually the second child div that is containing the tagline over here. So this is the child div number 1, this is the child div number 2, and this is, and of course the remaining part that should be left for the child div number 3. So in our template, all we did, we just assumed that the width of this tagline is 600 pixels. That means the width of this extreme left box should be kept within at a range of 200 pixels, and the width of this extreme right box should be kept at a range of 200 pixels over here. So this is the child div number 1, this is child div number 2, and this is child div number 3 of the parent div tagline holder, which is at a width of 1000 pixels. So let's try to create it. We are getting back to CSS, stylesheet.css. Now get back to tagline holder. Now inside this tagline, first of all remove all those blank spaces or empty spaces. This may create some white spaces inside, that is not evitable. The tagline holder has been created, so we are creating the first, this is the parent div over here. Tagline holder is actually the parent div. So the next thing is creating those child divs. So all we are doing here, we are providing the first class over here, tagline holder. So this is the name of the first children div. For say, instead of using such a big name, let's condense it to a particular name that will be known to you everybody. And this div was actually intended to house the logo of the customer's company or customer's organization. So I think the name should be provided here is the First Children logo. Just name it as a First Children logo. Now inside, we are first providing the dimension over here with 200 pixels that we have assumed to be. Then we are providing another height. The height should be same here. The height of the parent div was 100 pixels, and you cannot exceed this 100 pixels. If you confine your parent div into a particular height, then all you have to do, you have to follow that height rule strictly into those child divs. So if it is 100 pixels over here, then the child div should also contain the height of 100 pixels. So I am providing the height of 100 pixels here for the time being. Later what we will be doing here, we will be removing all those heights from here. So this is the height of this thing. Now let's provide another background color over here. And it should reside in the extreme left position, isn't it? So what is the extra command that we have to provide here to keep this div floating into a particular alignment, into a particular location? Of course, that is it. This is the term you are using, floating. We are actually commanding this div to be aligned into a particular direction, either in the left or in the right. So we are writing over here as float. We intended to float it left, so all we are providing here to float this div to keep it aside to left. So what we are doing here, we are using this command, or we are using this syntax as float left. Pressing Ctrl S. Now what we are doing here, we are just Now this time we are talking about this extreme right condition. That means this one, this box now we have to consider over here. This one, this box has to be considered over here. So in the same manner, as we have assumed that the total width of this tagline part is 600 pixels, that means if you deduct this 600 pixels from this 1000 pixels, then the remaining part is 400 pixels. And the first box, if you have provided it as a 200 pixels, so the second box should be residing at 200 pixels. And this is the calculation all time, every time you have to make. If you provide here 150 pixels of dimension of width, then all you have to do, you have to make it up over here, and you have to make this div as a 250 pixels. So for the time being, we are just concentrating on this extreme right box. So all we need to do, get back to our project, and instead of float left over here, first of all we are changing it to float right, and then we are changing the name. What we have intended here to keep out the contact us information about this concern. So what we are doing here, we are naming it as contact box. So by this modification, what we have done here, we did just change the class names that has been used into these two child divs. So all we have to do, we have to create another div which will be residing at the middle part, at the middle of this web page, and it will be at a width of 600 pixels. So all we need to do here is to create the third sibling, the third child div over here, that is the tagline. So we are just naming this thing as, first of all, copy this whole thing, get back over here, and all you are doing here, tagline holder, name it as tagline content. So the class name has been changed over here. Now we have to change this width 600 pixels. No need to provide any margin padding, because if you just sum up all this width, they will be ending up to 1000 pixels, which is the actual width of this parent div. So we don't need to make any kind of margin or padding over here. If you want to make some margin padding over here, then all you have to do, you have to calculate the margin from the left and margin from right, and then substantially all you have to do, you have to place those things accordingly. This time we don't have to make actually those amendments or those modifications we don't have to worry about these margins, because we don't need to provide anything over here. Now the width is 600 pixels, the height is, as usual, it should be 100 pixels, as the height of this parent div is 100 pixels. So tagline holder, tagline content, width is 600 pixels, height is 100 pixels, and in the middle change the background color over here. Just copy this code, get back to your project and press Ctrl V over here. Now in case of float, change it to left, press Ctrl S, get back to index. What we see here, we have created three child divs over here. So all we need to do, we have to provide those child divs. We have to bring those child divs into the under this tagline holder, which is at a width of 1000 pixels. So all we need to do, inside this tagline holder, now we are creating some child divs. So this is the first one. So this is the first div. This is the first child div over here, like this one. All we are going to do now, we are going to bring on this tagline holder, tagline content. So all we are going to do, we are going to copy this selector name over here, come back to your page and index.html and create this div class over here. This is the middle box, which is actually holding the tagline of this website, and the third box, now it's a turn about this third box, and the third box is tagline holder first children contact box. Get back to index.html. So far up to this is the mother wrapper, inside which this tagline holder is a parent div, which is of the same width of mother wrapper, 1000 pixels, and inside this tagline holder I just splitted this tagline holder into 3 independent boxes over here. This is the first child box over here, which is known as this tagline holder first children logo. Then comes the middle box, which is actually holding the tagline, so I have named it as tagline content, and this is the third child div, which is known as the tagline holder first children contact box. Now just press Ctrl S, get back to your site and reload, and you see that all these divs, those are now in position.